So there's this place. It's massive. Like, it's Mall of America. If you guys have ever been to the Mall of America, it's absolutely massive. In fact, it's so freaking massive that you can't even see the ceiling. I want you to picture that. You can't even see the ceiling. That's how big this place is. The aisles of this place are filled with so many things. It actually just continues to go and go and go and go. Aisles of furniture and bedding and lamps and interior furnishings. Aisles of cars and boats, ATVs and motorcycles. Aisles of pictures and books and manuscripts and plans and drawings and such. You kind of get the picture, right? This place is absolutely massive. And one in particular that you might find interesting is there are aisles and aisles of money, like rows upon rows and stacks upon stacks of money. Now, you might be wondering, like, what kind of adult Disneyland is this place? Because I want to go there. But before I share with you more about this place, I want to tell you a story about an extraordinary young man named Chris Nickick. Chris is a young man that grew up with a challenging life. As a child born with Down syndrome, he faced many obstacles in his youth, from multiple heart surgeries, ear surgeries, being sick, not being included in sports events, or simply not even being invited. As his father's heart was breaking for his son, he had an idea. What about Special Olympics? And so Chris signed up. He chose to race, and he faced 10 competitors in his first race, and he came in dead last. But Chris was ecstatic. And so his father thought of another challenge. See, his dad wanted to inspire his son to tackle something bigger, something he could be proud of. Dream a bigger dream, a dream bigger than himself, a goal worthy of sacrificing for. So they chose an Ironman race. For those of you who are not familiar with an Ironman race, it is 2.4 miles of open water swimming, a 112-mile bicycle ride, and a 26.22-mile marathon run. And it must be completed within 17 hours. But here's the thing. Chris had no idea what he had signed up for. His dad simply said, "Chris, it's a bit longer than the runs you've been already doing." I'm going to talk about more on that a little bit later. Through Chris's training, they came to the realization very fast that they had to make an adjustment. And instead of looking at the daunting task of this massive goal, they simply, all they would do was improve 1% more every day. Well, how'd they do that? Well, they tracked and they measured everything. Chris would write out his entire day of activity. He would train 13 of 14 days, 3 to 6 hours a day. He was relentless. And then the day finally came. It was November 17th, 2020. We all know what was going on last November, right? We were going through COVID, all of the challenges that we were being faced with, but he showed up to the event in Florida. Chris would tackle his first ever Ironman for anyone with Down syndrome. 16 hours and 45 minutes later, Chris crossed the finish line. And he left as an Ironman. Through all of his pain, his doubt, his discomfort, the challenges that he faced, he never gave up. You guys can tell I'm getting a little bit emotional about this. And now he wanted to. I want you to understand, he wanted to give up. He wanted to give up so bad. But you know what he had? He had a coach. He had a support system of people who wouldn't let him quit. In fact, he had a tether. I don't know if you guys know a tether. The tether is a string that is attached to the coach that made him keep a pace that his coach was leading him with. At one point, Chris wanted to quit so bad that his father had to step in and encourage him. He had to push him, and he had to love him through the pain. Chris, at one point in his 112-mile bike ride, took a nutrition break and needed to change his socks because he was getting blisters. While doing that, he stepped on a mound of fire ants that bit him hundreds of times. Later in the ride, he crashed and scraped himself pretty bad, but he never quit. 16 hours and 45 minutes later, he crossed that finish line and became an Ironman. So why do I tell you this story? And what does this have to do with this massive building full of all of that stuff I shared with you before? How many of you have wanted to do something so bad that you could taste it? So bad that you dreamt about it night after night after night, but you never did anything about it. You wanted that car or that boat or that house or that cash, that change, but you never allowed yourself to pursue it. That building is the building where each and every one of our hopes, our dreams, our broken promises to ourselves, the things that we say that we want, but we never pursue them, that's where they go. They get there and get stored away, never to be realized. Chris wouldn't allow his dream, his goal, to end up there. He did exactly what we tell you to do every single week. Be here now. Trust the process. Never give up. He trusted his coaches. He literally was tied to them in order to help him achieve his goal. Have any of you ever felt like we were tied to you, like helping you walk through the challenges of this industry? Or how about when Chris first started to train? He didn't know what he was getting into, but his coaches, those he trusted, they did. And they provided him everything that he would need to accomplish it. Does that sound a little bit familiar to some of you? Chris had the support of those close to him. His dad showed up and hugged him, but he wouldn't let him quit. How many of you have been in my office with a box of tissues, leaning on me, on us, to help you push through the tough stuff in your life? Or maybe you had a beer with me and we talked through some hard conversations. See, Chris never gave up. He crossed the finish line victorious. But more important than that, he became an inspiration to others who aren't strong enough yet. See, your greatest strengths come from understanding that your weakness and letting others help you to push through is your strength. Weak people do not know how to ask for help. Insecure people won't allow anyone to help them through their challenges. Secure people who know who they are and understand why they want what they want, aren't afraid to ask for help. Chris is an inspiration. He is an example to each and every one of us that when you surround yourself with the right people, when you continue to push and show up every day, work your ass off, trust the process of those who have been there before, and when you make the decision that no matter what, you will never give up, then one day you will cross the finish line. Right before he did, his coach untied the tether and he let Chris go first. That's exactly what we do for you. We will help you get to that finish line. We will help you get to that goal. We will help you accomplish that thing in your life. And then we will untie the tether. And we will let you cross the finish line. And we will be your biggest fan. We will be there to embrace you and all of your success. Never forget that. Love each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see you this week.